page 126, 127, section 11.2, changing the subject of the formula, operating at a higher level, jumping into grade B. And this is question 8. I've got to rearrange each of these formulae to make x the subject. In other words, I want x equals, right, here's one. X squared minus b equals 9. Again, perform the inverse operations, get rid of b. 9 plus b, to get x on its own, you square root the jolly lot. Leave it like that. Here's the next one. Ax squared equals 9. Haven't got a clue why this is grade B, it's dead easy. Y divided by a, take it over and divide because it's multiplying. Get x on your own, square root the lot. Make sure the square root covers the y and the a. If you just do a little titchy square root over the y, you're wrong because you're not showing that the a also needs to get square rooted. Make this the last one. Gx squared minus c equals d. Take the c over and add it. So gx squared equals c plus d, or d plus c, doesn't matter. So x squared is going to be c plus d all over g. And finally, make sure you square root the whole lot. Oops, I've square rooted it, there is no x squared, that's gone bye-byes. So inverse operation is to square root, and that's that. That's the grade B sorted. Question 9. Anne is using the formula V equals pi r squared h to find r. You may recall that is the formula for the volume of a cylinder. She rearranges it and gets this. R equals root V all over pi h. And is she correct? Well, I don't know. Let me try it out myself and then give a reason. I want r, so straight away I'm going to divide by pi and h. So coming over here, I'm going to have r squared equals v, which is sitting there all day, divided by pi times h, because pi and h are multiplying anyway. Take them over and divide them on block, and r will be v over, there it is. It's exactly what I said a second ago down here. You square root all of it, that's why it's wrong. What Anne did was to square root the volume and leave the pi h part unrooted, and that's just wrong. Okay, question 10. I think I'll do some of these. Here's the first one. I've got f bracket x plus g equals h. Rearrange it, get x. Okay, I'm multiplying by f. Take it next door and divide it, and it's gone. Won't trouble you again. So h over f. Get rid of the g to the other side. How? Take it over by subtracting, because that's the inverse operation of adding. That's gone bye-byes. I don't know, let's do c. I've got r plus s equals t root x. I want x, so let's get rid of the t next door and divide it away. So the square root of x is going to be r plus s all over t. Now to get x on your own, the inverse operation of square rooting is going to be to square everything. In order to make sure you square everything, you do a dirty great bracket around the whole lot, then put a little power of 2 up there. Alright, so it's really important that you use that bracket skillfully. Can I be bothered with 11? Okay, let's bother with it. I've got a formula here. I won't read the story, I'll just write it. D equals the square root of L squared plus W squared. Formula to find the length of the diagonal D of a rectangle L units long and W units wide. What a mouthful. Is given by that formula there. Make L the subject of the formula. Fine, let's just do it. Let's just write it around the right way. L squared plus W squared is going to be D squared. Okay, I've unsquare rooted this side by squaring both sides, hence D squared. Therefore L squared is going to be D squared minus W squared. And to get the length on its own, you take your D square minus W square, and the inverse operation is to square root the lot. Find L when D is 30, so I'm going to put a 30 in there, and W is 18. Trouble is I don't know what 18 times 18 is, so I'm in big problems. So L equals the square root of 900, take away 18 times 18. Oh dear, let's just do a quick sum. 18 times 18, right, 0, 8, 1, 8 8 to 64, 8 and 14, blah de blah de blah. That's going to be 324. What on earth is that going to be? I've no idea. So the square root of what's that going to be? 576. I haven't got a clue what the square root of 576 is. I'm going to use a calculator. Can I guess what that is? Well, 20 times 20 is 400. 25 times 25 is 625. I don't know what 24 times 24 is. It could be okay because 4 times 4 is 16. But let's just try that. Let's see if it's 24 times 24. Just try it. Oh my goodness, look, you've got to see this. Can you see that? I actually did get 576, so well done me. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that without a calculator anyway. The length is therefore the square root of 576, 24. But did you see how I got it though? Yeah, I had to use my brain a little bit. I know 20 times 20, I know 25 times 25. I sort of went between those two extremes and realised that 4 4s are 16, so I went for 24. Sounds sensible, doesn't it? Well, if you're stuck without a calculator, you've got to jolly well do it yourself. Now, 14 deserves its own page. It looks terrifying, but not for me because I really enjoy these. Right, these are the starry, scary, nasty ones. I think they're great. Look at this. I've got x bracket a minus b, shut your bracket, equals b bracket a minus x. And my job is to try and work out the rearrangements of this little animal and get it in the form of x equals. Well, I've got x on each side. Eventually I've got to work in such a way that x's appear on one side only. Let's liberate this one that's stuck in that bracket. Multiply everything out. xa minus xb equals ab minus bx. Alright, so I've got x's on both sides, and let's try and do this, shall we? If I bring this over to this side, then I've got plus bx. I've got xa minus xb plus bx equals ab. Now take a really good look at this. xb and bx is exactly the same. Reason being, a times b is the same as b times a. 3 times 2 is the same as 2 times 3. They have gone bye-byes. Therefore, I'm left with xa equals ab. I don't trust this, it's too easy. I'm just going to cancel those a's as well. X equals b. No way. Let's just check that again. ab equals b, a minus x. They must have made a mistake, it's too simple. Anyway, xb, ab minus bx. Yeah, that's good. Bring it over and plus it. Oh, they really ruined it. Anyway, apparently, not only have I rearranged it, but I've simplified it as well, and all the b's have gone bye-byes. I can't see why they've done that. It's really crazy. That's meant to be a b, of course. Better just check this, because it's so mind-bogglingly boring. I don't know what's happened here. Yeah, that's fine. That's gone. Right, so x equals b. I reckon they've ruined this completely. Right, next one. I've got e equals half m open bracket b squared minus u squared, and I've got to find u, so I've got to find u, literally u. Right, the opposite of halving is to double, so double the other side. M bracket b squared minus u squared equals 2 lots of e. Okay, dividing by 2, take it next door and get multiplied. Alright, so that's that out of the way. Let's just ditch the m by division. So b squared minus u squared equals 2e all over m. Nobody wants a negative u squared, so you come next door and get added, you go next door and get subtracted. So I have got v squared, wrong, going too quick, v squared minus the 2e all over m equals, you go and get positive now, equals u squared. And now we just square root the whole lot. So u is going to be the square root of v squared minus 2e all over m. Again, using